morning and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast. It's been a little while since I've been in this seat, and I'm so excited to be back with our friends at Disruption Network to let you know about everything going on in Utica and the Greater Utica Chamber. My name is Kari, Puleo, and I'm the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce and your host for the Leveling Up podcast. If you didn't join us in December, we were actually lucky enough to have our friends at the Disruption Network live at our Business of the Year Awards, where we celebrated many businesses who are doing great things around Utica. We have 5 categories for that award. We had a nonprofit with under 50 employees was the Utica Zoo. The nonprofit of the year with over 50 employees was the House of Good Shepherd. In our for-profit category, we had the Greenscapes was our winner for the under 50 category. And for our over 50 category, the winner was Casa Imports. And we also celebrated a Catalyst Rising Business Award, and that's led by our Catalyst group of young professionals. So for that award, it's kind of unique because it's a business that has been in existence for less than 5 years. So the owners don't have to be under 40, but we're looking for a young rising business. And this year our winner was Primary Urgent Care. We had a great event there, and we also had another wonderful event in December. The Catalyst Group also hosted our Jingle Jam event, which raised nearly $6,000 for the Young Scholars Program, and that's always a wonderful thing to do. We had our Catalyst Steering Committee meeting this week, and they are energized and ready to bring great things to you in 2022, including I hear they're working on getting a float for the parade, and lucky enough we have Devin Hoffman, who has won a float for the St. Patrick's Day parade before, so they'll be fierce competitors this year. We're also looking at getting together our scavenger hunt, which was so much fun. We raced all over Utica this past summer, and we're looking to bring that back this spring. So just a fun couple of things to look forward to. Of course, we have all of our chamber events coming up. We will be having our business after hours this month on January 20th at the Fitness Mill in the Live It Downtown complex. So I'm really excited to see what's going on there. They have so many wonderful businesses in that complex. Of course, it's anchored by the Fitness Mill, so there'll be tours. There'll be beer, wine, and assorted foods. So we hope to see many of you there at that event. Other things that have been going on in the chamber, we were lucky enough this past fall to add a new employee to our organization to work on special projects. So joining me here today, I have Sean Farrell, our Special Projects Officer. Sean?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here and be part of the chamber.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, which is really going to lead into the special projects. I know that you were born and raised here, you moved away a bit, and then you came back. Yeah. So tell me about what interested you to this position and kind of let the world get to know you a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, so I was born and raised here. I went to local schools, and immediately after graduating Utica College, a week later, I drove across the country and lived in LA. So made that, initial getaway from the upstate area after living here, like I think a lot of young people want to do, which was great because I got to experience a lot of life after that. From LA, I moved down to San Diego for a while, then back to the East Coast, and bounced around for quite a while. My career path eventually led to marketing, specifically fashion merchandising and marketing. I ended up in New York City working for Macy's Merchandising Group, where I had a expansive role to set the floor plans for private wear for 800 stores across the U.S. and a few in Canada. So it was great. I had all of that experience, and there came a point where there was an opportunity to leave Macy's and do something different. That point really became critical when I had a friend who needed some support, and it was a great time to move back to the area. My initial plan was to live here for 2 years, and here I am.
That's funny. When I moved back here, I thought I was just going to live here for a little bit, kind of reestablish myself, figure out what my next thing was, and Utica kind of drew me in.
It does. It really does that. So back in the area, reconnected with some old friends after trying to upstart a nonprofit for kids' cancer research. I decided, well, let's make this more permanent. And I got a job at the House of the Good Shepherd. And I felt it was really great to take all of my knowledge that I amassed through my different jobs in different areas of the country and bring it back to Utica and merge it with the Utica culture.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a rich culture already, and to add to it really just, I think it can enhance the area and enhance myself personally.
Yeah. Utica is such a unique city because, we're, a refugee resettlement area, and so we have a lot of diversity here. We have our roots in manufacturing, and you kind of see that coming back again with some new employees, new organizations and businesses that are relocating here. So we're kind of getting back to those, in a very technical, STEM way, but back to our manufacturing roots. And
Absolutely.
so, we have a lot of people and a lot of jobs here that people don't really know about. Sometimes Utica is a best kept secret. We keep things even within the community. We don't always know what's going on. We know some bigger, larger things, but the smaller players who are really, really powerful sometimes have to keep their work a secret.
And critical. I mean, and the smaller players are critical to the area and the success of the area. And that's one of the great things about joining the Chamber, and especially taking on this first project, the What's Upstate New York project, is to really create a spot where people, local and people who are interested in the area, can come to for kind of a one-stop preview of what we have to offer in the area.
Yeah, so you said the buzzwords, What's Upstate?
What's Upstate?
And that is the first and the biggest part of our initiative is the What's Upstate initiative. And that's what you're tasked with leading. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with What's Upstate, and we can kind of talk a little bit about the history of that too.
Yeah, so I thought, the What's Upstate, like I had already mentioned, really is going to become the spot for people who are interested in moving to the area to go to. And employers can really use that as a recruitment tool to help get talent to the area, to bring some new talent, to bring some fresh faces, and welcome them to our neighborhoods. So the tool is going to start out with a website, which we're in the process of designing right now. The website, What's Upstate New York, or What's UpstateNY.com. You can actually go there right now and just bookmark it because it will continue to evolve and launch hopefully in early spring. So we're hot and heavy on that. And also, to go along with the website, a really exciting thing is we're interviewing a lot of local people who want to share their story. So sharing stories to me is critical and really showcasing who's here and what we have to offer here. That builds neighbors, that builds that friendly environment.
Yeah, because so many, communities have, kind of the same assets. The, small towns in the Rust Belt kind of look similar.
Oh, yeah.
But what sets us apart is really the people who live here. So telling their stories through what we have is an ambassador program.
Right.
And I think you're going to tell us a little bit about some of those ambassadors that we've selected.
We do. We have some ambassadors that we're going to start interviewing or asking about their stories next week or within the next 2 weeks. So, there's some great people who have been born, raised, and have built their success here in Utica. Families. We're trying to capture a wide range, a diverse crowd of ages and ethnicities. We want everybody to be involved with this project. We also have some people who moved away, came back, kind of like
Boomerangs,
like Kari and I, to share their stories and why they came back. And then we also have some great stories of people who moved here because of jobs, because of college, and maybe immigration or refugee status. Since we are a really open city, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people want to move here, is to experience that and celebrate that. So we will be talking to people over the next several weeks, putting their videos up to share on our website, which will be exciting.
Yeah, and so this is a really great opportunity for businesses and organizations to get involved, especially HR departments or anybody who's looking for talent that's not located right here in the Utica area. Maybe you're looking for a very specific skill set, or you're just not finding the employees you need and you're trying to recruit them, a new physician in a specialty or something like that. So how can businesses and organizations get involved with this project?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is to reach out, send us, go to our website, the greateruticachamber.org website. You will see a pop-up that will appear. Fill that out to sign up for our newsletter specifically right now for the What's Upstate project. And we can keep you in the loop that way. But also, reach out to us. Stop down if you want to. Give me a call, send me an email, and we can talk about different opportunities we have right now, such as a concierge service that we're talking about creating, where if you are talking to someone outside the area and interested in bringing them in for your business, we can help show them around. We will give them the rundown in Utica, what's what, who's who, and where to go, where to eat, especially. There's so many great restaurants here. And really provide a package of what we have to offer in this area that's different and why they should move here. On top of that, we have, sponsorship opportunities available right now to really support this project so we can take it through fruition and build upon it. I think it's a living thing that will continue to grow as the area grows.
Yeah, and it's called What's Upstate, not because, we're not just talking about Utica here. This is really applicable, and this is a program that's in partnership with a couple of different partners. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the partnership and the areas that this project covers?
Yeah, we have a lot of great partners in the area. We are partnered with the Community Foundation, the Rome and the Herkimer Chambers of Commerce. We have the Genesis Group, Oneida County Tourism, and Mohawk Valley Edge are all really supportive partners of this group. And like Kari said, it's not just Utica, but it's Utica, Herkimer, Rome, and both counties from north to south, east and east to west. So it's pretty expansive.
Yeah, and we're really trying to capture on, we call ourselves the Mohawk Valley, but people who don't know that we're here and don't know that we exist don't know to Google search Mohawk Valley. We have a lot of people who are like, I'd possibly like living in upstate New York, and to upstate New York is not what most people think. They're thinking down by the city, but we want to redefine that as up here because, we have the big city, but we're also so close to the Adirondacks, and we have so many different amenities to offer that what some traditional people call upstate is way different.
Oh yeah. When I lived down in New York and worked in New York, and I would tell my coworkers I'm heading upstate, and then they assumed I was going to White Plains.
Yeah, it's always a great debate on what upstate
Westchester,
means, right?
I have family in Westchester, no, a little further upstate.
Yeah.
So it is a great way to really define the area, define that term, and make it ours.
Yeah. So what are some other projects that we are thinking about working on? I know that, we got a project that we're working on with the city right now that businesses can also be involved in.
Yeah, I mean, certain projects in my wish list of projects would be something that really celebrates diversity in the area and really helps bring people together and share their culture and share their, whether it's through food, dance, music, or getting together. It reminds me of when I lived in San Francisco years ago. It seemed every weekend in San Francisco there was a parade of some kind, and everyone celebrated each other, and the turnout was great, and it was an environment that really, you wanted to be part of it. You wanted to learn about it. And it wasn't like you weren't learning through intention, you were learning through exposure.
Yeah, through experiences. The best way to expose yourself to a culture is always through food and music and art, and these are great things that Utica is really involved and invested in. We're known as a food city,
absolutely.
And it's so great that we have all these cultures here, which has led to a diverse amount of restaurants. I grew up Italian and pasta on Sundays, but I've grown to love the small little restaurants that maybe people aren't aware of, and we even talked about driving through Utica to the places that aren't on your normal routes, and what's unique and new, and how can we promote them better and get people to drive business to their area.
Yeah, I think while we do, Uticans are really good at embracing diversity, we kind of also tend to stick in our own comfort zones or our own neighborhoods. So I would love to, even you and I talked about this just personally, taking a drive through different sections of the city and learning about it, and really just seeing what's there and how it's changed. But also make that a thing that people want to do.
Yeah.
We
talked about neighborhoods, and we live in the downtown neighborhood at work right now, and we've got banners up and talking about maybe redoing those and getting more businesses exposure through that. So that's a project that we'll be working on shortly. And businesses, if you're interested in that you can contact Sean and we can get you up there and celebrated.
Yeah, I mean, if no one has seen them, the banners that go on to the light posts through Genesee Street and downtown area, putting your logo on there with the branding for Utica or the Greater Chamber of Utica is a great way to just first embrace Utica pride, and then secondly, get your name out there.
Yeah, because we've got a lot of people moving downtown. A lot of businesses moving with MVHS coming down, and downtown's becoming more vibrant.
Definitely
it's great that it's a walkable area now. When I first moved here, I don't know if I would have felt comfortable walking downtown, but after a Comets game, you see people walking up, the street even to go out afterwards, and it's becoming, more family friendly. We know that the city's going to be adding an ice skating rink downtown with part of the DRI money that we'll be receiving.
Yeah.
So,
well, when I started this job and I moved from the House of Good Shepherds, location to here, I thought like walking on lunch break was amazing. I got that feeling again of living in a city where you didn't drive everywhere, but you could walk to lunch, you could take a walk, to the bank, or walk and run your projects.
Yeah.
To me, that's great. I love that experience of walking, getting to see people, and being part of a downtown culture.
Yeah, and the connectability. I mean, I know that, the Erie Canal, we've got the trail system and connecting that to downtown. And so it's not just walkability, it's bikeability and making us, a healthier, more vibrant city, like, big city feel, but with the small town, roots that we all, you go to your local coffee shop and you know the name of somebody and you run into, you can always, kind of have that place that feels like Cheers to you, where you know
where
the
everybody
people,
knows your name.
where everybody knows your name. Yeah, but you have those amenities, like the Stanley Theater and very, high-end restaurants that are right here. I mean, you can go to some restaurants and really feel like you're not in Utica. You have that big city vibe now that just didn't exist 10 years ago.
Right.
So it's really all of these factors that are really. That's why now is the time to pitch this What's Upstate initiative and get people to know who we are and why you should move here and live here and work, live, and play in the greater Utica area.
And to that point of knowing these restaurants or the Stanley or different venues to go to, I think that's also key in attracting and retaining new people to the area.
Yeah.
Making that connection is really hard when you move to a new place.
Yeah.
So people who are willing to lend a hand, be supportive, be neighborly, and take that upon themselves to say, I can help. I can show people where to go eat. I can go meet someone for coffee, talk about our experience in the area.
Yeah.
I think that's all part of what's Upstate should be going forward. Once it launches, then get into those details of how can we really make people feel comfortable here. I think Utica definitely has a culture of, who you are, and they embrace each other. And now extend that hospitality to newcomers in ways like that, small ways, because I've lived in many cities and getting to know where to eat, where to even buy gas, or, that's not.
Yeah.
All these little small details that you don't think of. That's great to have in a conversation and to have these ambassadors be part of that, as well as anyone who else just wants to be part of, being a cheerleader for the area. Yeah.
Did you want to talk more about the ambassadors and announce who they are?
I could. I have the list right here of our ambassadors for the launch.
Yeah.
So everyone's been notified already, but we have Carly Reitmeyer, who is a one of our first choices for someone who lived in the area, and will bring like a different generational view to the area, which I think is important. Darren LaPlante, who seems to be very exciting, and he also has starting his own business in the area. Hanka Grabakova. What an interesting background.
She's great.
Yeah, I know you've already met with her, and I can't wait to speak with her in a couple of weeks and hear her story. She has a really great story of, well, it's not great, it's an interesting story, and choosing Utica to be her new home is great.
Yeah.
We have Kay Parker, who is another young up-and-comer in the area. I feel like great things for her based on her bio and what she submitted. She is going to be one to keep an eye on, I feel, locally. Randy Van Wagner.
Many people know who he is.
A lot of people know him.
He's a transplant, but couldn't scream, "I love Utica" louder than anybody.
Yeah, you really can't. Sharon Sofer.
Speaking of the compound, we were talking about him earlier. He's moving his business, adding a second location.
Yeah,
moving
second
to
location.
downtown.
So if you like butter or grilled cheese, follow the compound on Facebook, because who doesn't like grilled cheese?
Yeah, and they have a really exciting Kickstarter that's going on. I think it's open for one more week. So if you want to invest in somebody else's business, there's a way to do that, and
be
it's
supportive.
It's on his Facebook page.
It's on his Facebook page. It's on the Chamber's page. We shared it all over the place, but support if you can. Tabo Bo, who you also know.
Yeah, he was part of our Bank of Utica New Year's Eve party, and he did some wonderful spoken word poetry. And actually, it was so fantastic. I've actually been asked for a copy of the poem he read, so I've got to get that and disseminate it.
I went to one of his events a few weeks ago before the snowfall, and what a great leader he is as far as getting something like that together, a multicultural event with spoken word poetry, with dance, song. It was a really great experience.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump topic just for a second here, but the thing that I love about Utica, and this was really what kind of made me want to stay here, is that you can do small things and have a big impact and see that impact that you make. We're just that right size city that if you have an idea and a spark and an investment, you can get that support and launch a project and really make a difference in the city that you live in and see and feel that difference, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Chester DeBari III.
Yeah, he's from Rome.
So we're including some, not just Uticans. And then Laura Sinnott, who also boomeranged and is back in the area after a few years. So we're excited to really get started meeting these people, hearing their stories, putting it together in a nice video format, and then sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, and there's going to be opportunities for you to be involved in things like this in the future. So that's really why we want you to.
Well, we put out a casting call, and we got a great response. I consider a great response. 80 people responded to this who were really interested in being part of this and sharing their story. So from those 80, we had to really narrow it down to 10 was our goal. But it became so complicated because everybody has such great, compelling stories to share that we actually said, okay, we have our initial 10 that we will have for video, and then we have another group of people, a second group of 10 to 12 actually, who we want to also share their stories. So they will be dispersed throughout our website and also used in social media.
Yeah, I think what's really cool is that you picked up on several of these people are entrepreneurial.
Yes.
And that's a really cool thing about Utica too, is that we have that, it's that right mix of, capital and support and, kind of that stick-to-itiveness nature of upstaters that, Utica's a great place if you're an entrepreneur to really, start a business and grow a business. And, we have so many, big corporations now that are, even traded on the NASDAQ that started out in somebody's garage. We're lucky enough to have those stories here, and what better place and way to showcase that than through these personal stories and
successes. I mean, all of them are very successful, and I look forward to meeting them and learning more about them, even like on a personal level.
Yeah.
Such interesting people.
Yeah. So
I'm excited to hear what they have to say.
yeah. So anything else coming up with What's Upstate or projects that you're working on that we should know about?
For What's Upstate, really the other pieces of it, I know I've been talking about the website quite a lot, but we will also do have a brochure that we can keep at local hotels so that we can distribute that. Also available to employers in the area to share with prospective employees, to entice them. A nice little brochure. We're talking about other fun ideas like hashtags and maybe window clings to put at different shops, just to really encourage people. I'd also love to see down the line identify some spots throughout the area, from Old Forge to Rome to the Mohawk Valley, and call them out as like selfie spots, and like somehow create a selfie spot where people can take a selfie there behind an interesting background, hashtag it, share it on social media,